So this morning I've been sitting and really contemplating my own creative process and looking at that through the lens of the first gene key. And if you don't know about the gene keys, then there'll be a link with this post where you can find out more. But it's irrelevant for this sharing. And I was really just contemplating and really reflecting on my own personal journey with creativity. And over the years, when I was younger as a teenager, I used to want to be a performer. And I was very creative as a child, and found that as I moved into high school, my intellect was more revered by those who I looked up to. And my creative pursuits were kind of looked at as, yeah, they're interesting, but you can't make a living off that. It's like you can't live off that creativity. And so over the years, I've gone through a phase of breaking all that down, of really returning back to what it means to be a cosmic artist, to be a creative. And it's been challenging, because the thing with being creative, and we all are creative. You're creative. I'm creative. Everybody on this planet is creative. The politicians of our world, everybody has this creative urge inside themselves. The question is it free? Is it free to be allowed to breathe and express itself in its own natural timing? Or has it been trapped and restricted by the mental concepts and grasping of needing to know? So it's not a question of whether we're creative. It's the very fuel of being human. And so what I found is, over these years, as I'd go through these different processes, I've begun to embrace my creativity, my artistry. And one of the greatest challenges with being a creative is that, just like nature herself, creativity goes in cycles. It ebbs and it flows. And for creativity to happen, we need melancholy. We need downtime. We need times when we come inward, the winter of our soul, to come inwards and allow our energy to begin to gather and build up. And we can mistake these moments for being failures or depression or there's something wrong with us because of the way our society is geared up, that we should always be busy. And some of us get frenetic. We start rushing to try and fix this situation, to make some achievements and force the creativity. Others get stuck. They get stuck in the depression. And, for me, it was always the frenetic activity. And so one of the keys here is to really just let go and to trust in your natural creative process, that it takes time. Creativity takes time. It's an art form that needs to be cultivated and allowed to bubble up out of you. And sometimes it's scary, but it takes that letting go into the unknown, the surrendering into that deep feeling inside. And what you might discover is what you thought was this sadness that needed to be fixed was actually yourself gathering the energy, preparing to burst out in an effervescent inspiration kind of overflow. Just like nature, when the winter breaks and the spring finally comes and the sunlight shines, how the flowers just begin to burst out. And they don't all happen at once. Some flowers burst early in the spring. Some come in the mid-spring, some come later, some come in summer, some come in winter. Everyone's creativity will burst at different timings. Just as with humans and with us, we all have our different flows. And your creativity will flower and burst in its own timing. So I've just taken a little moment out from my own intense creativity, as you may have noticed, setting up the new Facebook page and looking at, how am I going to share my message now? How do I feel? And my mind was so busy. And so instead I surrendered. I came out here and made a cup of tea and slowed down. And this is what bubbled up. So thanks for sharing. Enjoy your phase. Enjoy your creativity, whatever phase it's in, without judgment. And when you're ready, when you begin to feel it tickling inside, that effervescence beginning to awaken up, inspiration beginning to flow, then don't wait for it to be perfect. Don't wait until your brain feels safe to go ahead. But instead, like a true artist, just begin to put strokes upon the palette of your life and try. Just experiment. Stretch into your new inspiration and see. Because true art evolves itself along the way. It's never finished in the beginning. It comes from a divine inspiration, and then it's up to you to begin to experiment, to gather the tools and the knowledge and the experience to be able to actually bring it into form. So I hope you enjoyed this contemplation, and if you did, make sure to like this Facebook page. And there's a little button that says click to see these posts, and that'll just make sure you get to see them when they turn up. And I'll see you soon with more contemplations as we move through the week.